Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and Droids, there are 3 things in Galaxy of Heroes that I can promise you. Number 1, Boba Fett's sign of Django is trash. Number 2, I didn't think about the number 2, but you know what the third one is? I know you guys love you some Lightspeed Bundles, one of the biggest phenomenons in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes history. And you know what? We're gonna have a little bit of fun chatting about all the Lightspeed Bundles that have come to Galaxy Heroes and kind of doing this random tier list thing that I found online. So the other day we ranked all of my Relic 9 upgrades that I did, and I came across this spreadsheet here. Someone else made this. I'm not sure who. Someone created this right here. This back in June 28th of this year. And I'm like, you know what would be fun? If we kind of sat down and ranked all of these different Lightspeed bundles that have come to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I had to add the more recent ones of MUNDI and the HOTH Lightspeed bundle. But nonetheless, we're ready to go to have ourselves a little bit of a conversation. Before I do this, Capital Games, the notorious C to the G. Can you please, maybe, there's probably some psychological element that I just truly don't understand. Can we make these things permanently available in-game? A little tab in the store, because when new players come to the game, they might see these, let's be honest, whether you love or hate Datacron, these are some of the most impactful things ever, and especially if new player retention, if a new player comes, they want to have access to this. So unfortunately, this video is kind of useless because we don't know if these will ever come back. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if they do come back, I guess this would kind of serve as a frame of reference on my opinion on all of these different Lightspeed bundles. So CG, chop, let's get on it and make these permanently available. If I was a new player, I'd feel like, why should I play this game until these bundles come around? Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But let's get chatty. So basically, this is going to be largely subjective, but here's what I'll say about all these bundles. If you took the basic calculation of how much Kyrotech you're going to save in terms of real dollars to crystal conversion, if you want to do that, all these Lightspeed bundles supersede whatever dollar amount they cost. We have Lightspeed bundles going from $10 to $50 with a variety of things in between. Whatever the case might be, they're all valuable and they're all bundles that are worth their value if you take the Galaxy Heroes economy approach and look at how much things would cost from a crystal perspective. But here's one thing we're noticing. Not all Lightspeed bundles are made equal, but all Lightspeed bundles are pretty good and they will supercharge your roster. So with that said, there's gonna be obviously a spread. Even the lower tier ones, they are still incredible powerhouses to move your roster along. So why don't we start off with this? First on our list, let's just throw it in the middle for right now so we can chat about it. We have the Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle. We're going to show all of the different images. So to remind you on what these all include. So number 1, we have this little guy right here, Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle, which has characters and ships for a whopping price of $9.99 US. And you're going to get all these characters as well as these ships. But let's chat about what you're going to get in here. So first things first, I am the realist. We all know that. But check this out. Shadow of the Empire, the biggest downside about this Lightspeed bundle, most Lightspeed bundles get you at Relic 5. This one gets you at Relic 3. But the thing that makes this Lightspeed bundle so special, it helps you on your Master Luke, your Luke journeys in general. Again, just from a pure Kyrotech perspective, the amount of Kyrotech that these characters need, largely all of these are legacy characters, so not too much Kyrotech are needed, but at the minimum, each of these requires 100. So just from that calculation alone, that well supersedes a $10 US evaluation here. Are these characters amazing? Not really, but what this is great for is building up to the Lukes, as we talked about, knocking out a variety of things that these guys are required for different legendaries, Galactic Legend. You're basically building out your Phoenix Squadron, and if you go out of the way and farm yourself a Captain Rex, the Old Man Rex, mind-blowing team that you're getting, because Phoenix aren't really the most fun to gear up. They're a good team once you have Old Man Rex, and a lot of people don't really go out of the way to farm Sabine because she's one of the harder characters, to farm and get up and running. That's basically what you're getting here, but also you're getting the ships on top of it as well. And ships, as you know, are a massive pain in the booty when it comes to this game, and being able to get your Phoenix crew up and running, as well as Biggs and Wedge. Those are nice to help you move further into your progression for, let's say you're going for the Chimera or something like that. So this really dips into several things. Of course, you can get your Thrawn, your Palpatine, hence why the image of this has Palpatine and Thrawn in it, but it really goes much further beyond that. The biggest thing for me that makes me want to rank this higher is the $10 price tag, but the characters you get in and of itself, they're not life-changing characters, but they're a lot of like the boring chores that you don't want to do for $10. Being done with all those characters is kind of a big deal. So what I'm going to do, we might move things down the road here. I think Shadows of the Empire is easily, that $10 price tag is super nice. For right now, put it in A. I might move stuff as I move along, as I kind of basically chat with myself and figure out what I like and dislike about some of these Lightspeed bundles. Next thing we have on the list, we have this FINALIZER bundle. So this was a big deal. Ooh, as you guys know, as we said, ship farming really sucks. But the FINALIZER bundle is a really sneaky bundle. Yes, this is going to help you complete the other arch of the Supreme Car Rent Grind, which is getting to FINALIZER, which is a massive pain in the butt. But also, it's going to help you double dip in things like the Executor and some other stuff along the way. It does help you out with some Supreme Car Rent requirements, but there's better bundles if you're trying to push for Supreme Car Rent. Let's take a gander. For $19.99, you would get Relic 5 characters ranging from Vader to the KYLOs to Cad Bane and Boss, all of which are very important for a variety of things in the game. And this right here is the biggest thing. Being able to get these ships. My gosh, Houndstooth, a staple in this game. You know, Xander Blood, you're gonna need it. Anyways, for the Executor. So yes, that's great for getting the FINALIZER. You're gonna end up using 3 of these Bounty Hunter ships immediately with your Executor. And again, that saves you lots of Kyra tech and it saves you lots of pain. These ships are not easy to farm. They made recently like the Imperial TIE Bomber easier to access, but not this one. So for $20, you're definitely, again, getting your Kyra tech worth of value. The characters themselves, you know, average at best. Darth Vader, of course, is probably the best unit here. But again, having the relics on your pilots already will make your ships great and already help you towards that Executor. And all of these ships right here, all of these ships are useful, or if not at the minimum, necessary in this game. So let's get to it. FINALIZER bundle. Oh man, the ships is the biggest thing. The $20 price tag, again, it's a lot of stuff going on. Is it as, you know what? I feel like, you know, just because the ships are so annoying, this is going to help you build up a FINALIZER, get your FINALIZER for Supreme Car Rent, and it's going to go towards the Executor. I think that's A tier, but now that's kind of making me think, you know what, maybe we drop down Shadows of the Empire to B again. We're moving things along the way here, so we're going to put Shadows of the Empire down at B. Next up, we have General Anakin Skywalker's Lightspeed Bundle. My gosh, let's just say this. When they started dropping Lightspeed bundles on us, they went hard. They went extremely lucrative. But here's the biggest drawback with this one. This puppy is going to cost you a whopping $49.99 US dollars. This is on the highest end of the Lightspeed pricing bundles that we currently have. But take a look at what we have. Of course, these guys are going to make your way towards unlocking General Anakin Skywalker, but this makes progress towards several other things in the game on top of that. Technically, you can use your Separatists to unlock Padme if you wanted to. General Kenobi is a cornerstone necessary for Galactic Legend Master Kenobi. Same thing of Jedi Anakin. You need to get him up and running. Your Ahsoka Tano is going to be necessary. If you're going to build towards Jedi Master Kenobi, having Ahsoka Tano ready to go is nice. So you don't have to kind of go out of your way and do it. And again, the pilots as well are going to be nice to have. And Shakti's used for so many things in this game too. And it's required for General Anakin Skywalker. As you can see here, this is truly where they try to get you. Getting a 7-star negotiator immediately, being done with it, and basically the core of the negotiator ship, which is Anakin, and you got your Ahsoka, it doesn't have the Galactic Republic Y-Wing, which is kind of a necessary step to take Negotiator to the next level. And then, of course, Marauder, which is necessary to take it even higher. It's the ship that's going to convince you whether or not you should be spending this $50. But here's what I'll tell you. Getting your Negotiator up and running right away, take it from someone that's farming Negotiator right now, my free-to-play account, that is a ton of guild event token currency that you are going to be saving here. If we go take a look over, you want to be using the game plan is with your guild event token currency, you want to be quickly finishing the stupid stuff that you want to be done with. You want to knock out your Kenobi. You want to knock out your Malevolence. You want to be able to knock out other things like your Wampa and your Hermit Yoda Darth Malak. But the second you're done with Negotiator and Malevolence, that means you can pretty much exclusively farm Kyrotech on your account. And that is going to move the needle so much faster for a variety of things. We're talking tens of thousands and thousands of Get Token 2 currency. Again, the biggest thing is that price point here. Oh man. This is going to be really tough, guys. Again, these are all good. It's kind of hard to compare them with one another. I want to, the $50 price tag, I feel like is holding it back from S tier. Says, like, if this was $10, $20, yeah, this is S tier. I think I'm going to put this in A tier. It feels right. Let's keep moving along. We need to get some more stuff on the board for us to kind of conceptualize all this. Next, we have the GEONOSIAN Lightspeed Bundles. So the GEONOSIAN Lightspeed Bundles coming in at $14.99 US. And this is kind of, yes, let's roll back here. Again, number one, the Kyrotech you're going to end up saving, it supersedes this. Let's just keep that as a standard for every pack we're basically talking about. We don't need to talk too much about Kyrotech, but some have more Kyrotech than others. This isn't really a super Kyrotech heavy team. A lot of these guys are legacy characters, which means they don't have a lot of Kyrotech or any Kyrotech under the Gear 12 procedure. Every character has Kyrotech going from the Gear 12 to Gear 13. But this is mostly kind of your unofficial Wattam Boar Lightspeed bundle to kind of get them ready. So that way you can do Geonosis Terrorist Trials and get Watt. The problem is the goal of the game is to get beyond Geonosis Terrorist Trials and get into Rise of the Empire, which means a lot of people can't farm Watt. And then another problem we're going to talk about is farming Mundi on the light side of things. Overall, I wish this bundle was a little bit cheaper. Again, it gets something done that most people don't want to gear up. You want to save your Kyrotech for other stuff. Gearing up Geonosians, not really the happiest thing to do. I guess another side note here is that these Geonosians also are pilots for the Malevolent, so the more relics you have on Sunfac, Geonosian Spy, Geonosian Soldier, the better. Geonosian Brute Alpha is also a fairly plug-and-play character. I don't see that when you look at like some of these other bundles that have $10, it's hard to really say Geonosians are going to be that good. So I'm kind of leaning somewhere between C and D tier status. You know what? I'm going to kind of go down I'm going to put it in D. Again, we might mix and match as we go up down the road. But let's go now talk about the DJARIN Lightspeed Bundle. The DJARIN Lightspeed Bundle, I had to pull up one of my older videos that we have here to kind of see the context of it all. This was a $20 bundle. A $20 bundle, and it got you the old Mandalorian, the one that has the Disintegrate, IG-11, KYLO, Cara Dune, and Greef Karga, all of which are required to get Beskar Mando unlocked. However, here's the thing. Beskar Mando is not a very difficult character to unlock. Very, very low gear friendly. It's probably the last low gear friendly event that we had, I guess, unless you count Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, which is also kind of low gear friendly. Gear 12, but we're talking low purple gear. Needed to unlock it. The benefit of this Lightspeed bundle is, again, kind of finishing the job and taking actual advantage of these characters. Again, I'm going to put my free-to-play account. This is one of those things where I haven't bought any Lightspeed bundles on my free-to-play account, but man, I kind of wish I had that one because I use my, especially Mando, quite a lot inside of, Grand Arena, and let's just say it's kind of hard to get good use, and I'm trying to take down high relic Lord Vader teams, and this guy is kind of a garbage gear level. Same thing of Greef Karga. You have so much you have to do in the game, and finding the time to invest Kyrotech into things like Greef Karga and Mando, which are the true highlights of this team, it's kind of hard to come around and figure out when you can make that time to get those Kyrotechs invested. KYLO and IG-11, they're all right characters. They're not the best in here. Cara Dune's also all right. She's good at Sana Staros, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, and also Mon Mothma, but it's Greef Karga and Mandalorian that are the most important here. So $20 for characters that aren't too hard to farm, especially Mando and Greef Karga. They're galactic warshipping characters now, which that happened recently before or after this bundle was made. I'm kind of leaning towards, what's better, a Geonosian Lightspeed bundle or Beskar Mando? Oh, for right now, I'm going to put these both in D tier status. I think I'm like, they kind of are similar into one another. They have a little bit higher price tags. They're characters that you don't really want to gear up, but you should gear up at some point. Let's leave it in there for right now. Now we move on to the Nightsister bundle. Okay, so here's what the Nightsister bundle has. For a price of $14.99 US dollars, so $15 here in the US of A. This gets you pretty much the entirety of the Nightsister faction minus Marin, minus Morgan Elsbeth, which is newer to the game just this past month, as well as Night Trooper, as well as Dark Trooper Peridia, all new to the game. But again, the problem with Nightsisters is the following. There's nothing that's forcing you to upgrade. They're not needed for a legendary, a galactic legend, but they're all right. You need Marin to really take these sisters to the next level. Without Marin, this is not a great faction. Night Sisters lost their steam without the help of Marin. And also keep in mind, Morgan Elsbeth and the Great Mothers being in the game now, we have another avenue to take advantage of the Night Sisters that weren't that useful. We're talking about the Initiate, the Acolyte, Talia. Being able to have them inside of the Morgan Elsbeth Great Mothers is great. So yeah, I guess that's why they're called the Great Mothers. So this right here knocks out a lot of things you would rather not spend your card tech on. You'd rather put your card tech towards Galactic Legend projects, things of that matter. But if you can spend $15, get the Night Sisters, which form 2 solid teams, so long as you can supplement them with Marin and Morgan Elsbeth and Great Mothers for the other team. This is one of those where not a lot of people make the time to get to Night Sisters, and I don't blame you. I look at my free-to-play count. I don't know when I'd get Night Sisters up and running. I like the Night Sister bundle more than GEONOSIAN's and the BESKAR Mando bundle, just because it's an entire faction. They're all pretty much useful now inside the game. You do need to get the Marin, which again, it's not too hard to get her up and running. She's double drop farmer, which is needed for Jedi Knight Cal. I'm feeling C tier. I hope maybe we see the distinction. And let me put it this way too. How many times, I can't promise this forever, Night Sisters are used a ton inside of Conquest. Like there are so many plague feats and all these other things that Night Sisters are required for, at least in the past. Who knows what the future holds. I like the Night Sisters bundle way more than a GEONOSIAN's and BESKAR Mando. Full faction, and they're got 2 solid teams near. So long, just supplement them. Newer to the list, we have the Jedi Allies bundle. And I kind of feel like this is where we're entering into the more recent generation where I don't think we're getting that much mileage out of these bundles. Let's go check it out. So, Jedi Allies Lightspeed Bundle, this just came out right around the release of the Naboo raid, coming in at $20 US. This one's a tough pill to swallow. Number one, if you bought the Negotiator, or I should say, I call it the Negotiator bundle. It's the General ANAKIN SKYWALKER bundle. You already got Plo Koon up and running a little bit. This one's at Relic 5. But man, let me be real with you guys. Number one, this isn't even like the best team in the Naboo raid. Yes, you can get a good score with them. I do it all the time inside of the Naboo raid. It's one of those things that were forced upon us. CG arbitrarily made a useless team in general in the game kind of important for a limited time raid, which by the way, will expire at some point. At some point, the Naboo raid is going to be useless. No point in doing it anymore. There's going to be something new. What that is, who knows? Overall, all these characters are pretty much next to useless. HOTH trash, Kit Fisto trash, Plo is an alright character. You know, we're talking C-, D tier type of character here. And then Luminara, not really all that special. Qui-Gon Jinn, if you throw the Omicron, you can do some stuff with him, but again, you need the Zetas to get him and the Omicron up and running. Otherwise, there's not really much to say. For $20, this isn't a great team. You're not getting value anywhere else outside of the Naboo raid. And when the Naboo raid goes, yeah, it's going to kind of suck. I guess on the upside, currently, there's a Datacron set for HOTH and Plo. But if you're like a new player, that's not going to help you at all because Datacrons are going to go away. So I'm not even going to consider that. I think, again, it's I think this is kind of, you know, I want to take out this E status. I just kind of, oh gosh. Yeah, let's take out this E status. Can I delete? Yeah, delete this row here. I don't like this bundle. We're going to just put this straight into the F category. I know a lot of people bought it, but it was the first Lightspeed bundle. I feel like we're kind of in tune with one another. It was the first Lightspeed bundle I felt like I wasn't entirely excited about, and it was the first Lightspeed bundle I felt a lot of you guys weren't excited about, but a lot of people bought it because they felt like they had to maintain some sort of relevancy with the Guild Event Token 3 currency in the Naboo raid. Again, I'm not saying it has no value. All these Lightspeed bundles have value well beyond their cost that they're asking for. But again, some Lightspeed bundles are just cooler and better than others, such as the Padme Amidala bundle. So let's throw her in the middle and chat about her. We have Padme Amidala here. Padme Amidala Lightspeed bundle. It has some redundancies here, coming in at a total cost of $24.99, $25 here. Here's what you get. You got your Newt Gunray, your Count Dooku, your Asajj, your B2, your B1, your Jango, your Magna Guard, and Droideka. Here's kind of the biggest problem. This, this kind of over double dips. If you bought the Negotiator General Skywalker bundle, there maybe not really a reason to buy this. Yes, there are some things that weren't in that bundle, like Jango, which is helpful for pushing towards Jedi Master Kenobi. You got your Newt Gunray, Dooku, which are all required for a variety of galactic legends out there if you're farming for them. Otherwise, $25. This one's kind of pushing it for me as well. If this was, again, maybe $10, I felt like this one should have been $5, especially if people bought the other Lightspeed. A little too much redundancy for my liking here. Not really much to say. Again, yeah, you can use it to get Padme, but you could have used the GEONOSIAN bundle to get Padme. You could have used the General SKYWALKER bundle to get Padme as well. So this one would kind of missed the mark a little bit. So let's say Padme Amidala bundle. I feel like I would rather have the GEONOSIAN bundle. I feel like I might be getting a little too rough here. You know, yeah, we might be scooting some of these up here. You know, we might be moving these around. So again, that's just my initial impression. Let's keep moving along. So Padme Amidala bundle, yeah, wasn't a crazy fan about it. Next up, this is the real deal here. This is what Lightspeed bundles were meant to be. The Supreme Leader KYLO Ren bundle. I'm not even gonna waste our time. That right there is S tier status. Take a look at this. For $9.99, just round it up to $10, you pretty much knocked out all of the Supreme Leader KYLO Ren requirements. That is huge. The amount of Kyrotech that this seems, again, I don't want to harp too much about it, but a lot of these are newer characters, such as HOTH, such as Sith Trooper, which they require a little bit more Kyrotech than your average legacy character. Being able to get all of them to Relic 5, some of them you will have to bump up, like you need to take Kylo Ren and Mask up a little bit to Relic 7, right? The baby Kylo, you're gonna need to take him up and running a little bit more. But for the most part, these guys are ready to go. They're locked in. You can get your Spirit of Kylo Ren base gift this, but you kind of need to buy the Lightspeed bundle for Finalizer to get the other half of the puzzle in order to get him. But right here, this saves you months of grinding, loads of Kyrotech you'd rather put into other teams. However, do note, this is the first time where people are like, holy crap, I'm missing out on a lot of Zetas. You don't get Zetas for these characters, which means you got to do a lot of Zeta farming to get him up and running. Like, you know, you're gonna need one on Hux, must-haves, the Sith Trooper, maybe one on Kylo Ren's unique ability. So about 3 Zetas minimum to put into these guys, but easily S tier Lightspeed bundle. Moving on, we have the C3PO Lightspeed bundle. This one, this one was kind of like, yes, people don't need to waste their time on the C3PO requirements anymore. $14.99, $15 US. Let's just round it up. Basically, you get all the Ewoks up and running, except for Nisa. Man, if this had Nisa, this would be great for pursuing things like Galactic Legend Leia. Saves you having to farm Nisa. You know, again, another one of those characters, not really super fun to farm. But this right here, I wouldn't say Ewoks are a pain to farm. It's just, it's not fun to farm. They're pretty easy to get up and running for the most part. You know, Cantina, the Guild Store, the Galactic War, you know, things of that nature are there. I mean, Wicket's a little bit harder to farm out of all these guys, but for the most part, it's just not fun to put resource towards them. The thing about Ewoks as well, let me pull it up my free-to-play account. The thing about Ewoks as well, you don't really need to take them high to do the event. Here's what I use. Basically, you only need Gear 11, maybe 1 Zeta on Chief Chirpa to get C3PO. But again, just gearing up is not fun. The biggest thing I think about this, yes, it's more than enough to get your C3PO, but it kind of helps you work towards Galactic Legend Leia too. Being able to kind of knock out some things that you might not want to do. I believe, what is it? Yeah, there's a Wicket that's required for Galactic Legend Leia. Helps you get into the Relic tier. You're gonna need to do some other stuff, of course, for Galactic Legend Leia. This one right here, I don't think it's quite B. I don't think it's an A. You know, are we gonna put, is it in a good spot? Is C a good spot here? Yeah, I think the biggest thing about this, I wish it was a little bit cheaper. $15 feels like a little more. You know, again, it's cheap relative to the alternative, of course, and how much time and money, quote unquote money, it saves you. We're gonna put it there for right now. I think it's nicer to have these guys. Like, if I had to pick between Geonos and that, I just want to, if I was a new player, just get the Ewoks. It helps me towards Leia. I don't want to waste my time farming them. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And a Galactic Legend Ray bundle, S tier. Same deal. S tier status for Galactic Legend Ray. It's called the Lightspeed bundle, but we call it the Resistance Lightspeed bundle. $9.99. Bro, $9.99. $10. They basically get all of the resistance stuff that you need up and running to get your Galactic Legend Ray. This right here, especially getting your Resistance Hero Finn, your Resistance Hero Poe up and running, saves you some Kyrotech because they're newer characters, so they have a little bit more Kyrotech involved with them. But again, a lot of these characters, here, the thing about Rey is, at least for me, I think for a grand majority of people, her requirements aren't fun. You know, like, getting up your resistance pilot, your resistance trooper, Holdo, Rose. I mean, I like Finn. Finn is good. He's a good character in his gang, but man, it's just not a fun farm. $10. Knock out the character side of things, but kind of like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, two things. Number one, you need some Zetas to get him around. You need some Zetas on your Finn. You need some Zetas on your Resistance Hero Poe as well in order to get the full benefit out of them. So pretty much 2 Zetas are required for this team, and you need to buy the RADDUS bundle, which we're going to talk about, but this alone, $10. This is what I feel like the Galactic Legend bundle theme should have stuck to. So easily for me, S tier status. Next up, we have the BB-8 bundle, which kind of perplexes me a little bit. So the BB-8 bundle, $9.99, so $10. And I feel like I'm having some deja vu here. The Supreme Leader Kylo Ren bundle basically gets you all this. This doesn't get you Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, whereas Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's bundle does. My guess is maybe this was for people who missed out on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, his bundle, they're like, oh, okay, here you go. Yeah, I'm a little, I don't know, it's kind of a little redundant. If I had the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and BB-8 bundle to pick from, I would rather have a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, right? I might be missing some. Maybe my tactical scanners aren't picking up here. So it's kind of weird. It's like if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's S tier, this one's a tough one. It's redundant. Gosh. I'm going to say this. If you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, if you missed out and they don't bring it back, I guess this is the next best alternative. Outside of that, it's again, this really confuses me. I'll put it in A tier. Yeah, so you see my problem? It's not as good as Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but if you don't have it there because you can't pick when it shows up, I guess you don't really have another choice. Jedi Training Rey is next on our list here. And Jedi Training Rey, again, coming in at $10 here. Jedi Training Rey, $10 basically gets you the Jedi Training Rey requirements. Of course, when you compare it to the other $10 stuff we see, definitely not nearly as great of a bundle, both from an evaluation of the characters themselves, how much you're getting. These are also very old characters. All these are fairly easy to get up and running. Overall, for the most part, I guess the Veteran Han, Veteran Chewie are the hardest ones. They require a little bit more Cantina energy to get up, whereas Finn and Rey, not too hard to build up, I guess, in this game. Yeah, not as cool as the other ones. I would probably put Jedi Training Rey, gosh. It's not as bad as the Jedi Allies bundle, I guess. At least the Jedi Allies bundle has a very limited shelf life, unless they get reworked. At least the Jedi Training Rey bundle is kind of important. So we're going to throw that over here. Next up, we have the RADDUS bundle. Quickly throw that in A tier status. Yeah, this BB-8 thing's really annoying me. It really is. I don't know why. So let's take a look at that RADDUS bundle. So the RADDUS Lightspeed bundle is kind of similar to the FINALIZER bundle, where for $20, you got all of this stuff right here. Bosk is kind of a repeat in here, and there's also some double dipping as well with the Galactic Legend Rey Lightspeed, or the Resistance Lightspeed bundle, so you got a little bit of that going on. Karth and T3 and 4 kind of, not important in this game, so yeah, okay, they gear them up for you, but it's not that important overall. Then we have the Ahsoka Tano, which kind of double dips in some other things. Lando's kind of a useless character. L3 is a great plug-and-play character, so you can't go wrong with that. And of course, we have the ships, which again, there's a little bit of overlapping. The Houndstooth is overlapping with as well the Finalizer bundle. But again, getting your Resistance ships up and running, kind of a pain. Getting your Houndstooth up and running, kind of a pain. I like the Finalizer bundle a lot more than this, like the characters as well as the ships in general. But if you're pushing for Rey and you see this bundle come up, this is going to save you a lot of time, especially trying to farm all these different ships here. Yeah, Lando ship is kind of stupid. I don't know. But anyways, they require it. So yeah, we'll put it in that A tier status. It's kind of similar to the Finalizer, similar price, similar stuff. I think the Finalizer just has slightly better content in it. And then we have Starkiller bundle, which was I think this is the first expensive lights bundle we had. $50 is what they were asking for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which is the first big bundle that was expensive. And compared to things like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, the Rey, the Finalizer, the RADDUS bundle, people are kind of questioning the value of this one. The only way to really describe this is that this is a lot of Kyrotech. These are all newer characters, and these all have a lot of Kyrotech, and it basically allows you to get the Starkiller right away, and Starkiller's a good character. And the other good thing is he's kind of plugged into a variety of different teams. Talon does great with, you know, your Malguses, your Treyas, your Darth Revens out there. Mara Jade obviously goes with Emperor Palpatine. Kyle Katarn works great in a variety of different Rebel lineups. Dasher and are good scout characters. These are all good characters. They all have a lot of Kyrotech, and they get you to the character right away. But $50, man, I get that they're newer characters, so they think they can charge a bit more. That alone, like if this was $10 value, this would have been an S tier. But the $50 price tag, I feel like brings it down here. I would say it's probably a B tier. The pricing, the thing that bothers me the most. I like the contents more, the Night Sisters and C-3PO, of course. Yeah, it's just that pricing schedule. And actually, if I had to pick, I would take the Shadows of the Empire bundle over Starkiller too. You know, you just get a lot more with the Shadows of the Empire. Like, man, I would love to have my Phoenix instantly upgraded right away, and some other stuff here. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna leave Starkiller. And then we have our two most recent additions to the game, the Ki-Adi-Mundi bundle. For $20. This is, oh gosh. Again, we've talked at a great lengths about this when the Ki-Adi-Mundi bundle came out. Yes, it's worth $20, like by a variety of metrics, from a time perspective, from a Kyrotech perspective. If you want to go into that route in terms of like how much Guild Event Token 3 currency you're going to save, that's huge. I never recommended getting Ki-Adi-Mundi with the Guild Event Token 3 currency. So, but even when I don't include that analysis of get 3 currency, just from a time perspective, as well as the Kyrotech required to upgrade them, it's well beyond the $20 worth of value. I put it somewhere around $80 of value if you want to do it simple analysis just with Kyrotech, gear, relic materials, all that fun stuff. Here's the biggest problem. It's only one character, but it's a character that CG artificially made overly complicated to get. This character should have been added to a node on Geonosis and Rise of the Empire. This character should have had some other way of acquiring him. He's also not like a great, like a top tier character. He's just an okay plus character. He's got uses, of course, especially Naboo. You know, you pair him with your Jedi Allies bundle, you get another decent team that can take on the Naboo raid. Otherwise, man, it's just, yeah, the pricing's a little too much. And this was kind of CG saying, hey, we're making this character too complicated to get. Here, pay us for us mistreating you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be too overly critical on this because who knows if Ki-Adi-Mundi will be ever important in terms of like requirement. Maybe people are speculating he's required for Galactic Legend Ahsoka. Maybe not. I don't know. Gosh, one character, $20. This is a big CG mess up here. Again, if you use a get 3 analysis, it definitely goes a little bit higher. But again, as of now, there's no reason to spend your get 3 currency on him, and it's not like it's not a life-changing character. Everything from B up is kind of life-changing. I'm gonna put it here in C. I don't want to be too negative about it. It's literally, if this guy wasn't as hard to get needlessly, this would have been a D or F tier. But the fact that they've made him so complicated to acquire, that's the biggest complication, I'd say. And then lastly, we have the HOTH Lightspeed Bundle, the most recent addition here. $25 is what they were asking for. And, you know, at the time of the recording, who knows what the future holds, Rebel Officer Leia Organa is absolutely killer in the game right now, assuming you have Sana Staros. But let's focus on the things beyond that. Number one, all these characters, except Probe Droid, are going to be required to do your Luke journey. You're going to Jedi Luke, going to Master Luke. You need your Wampa, you need your Rebel Officer Leia Organa, you need your Captain Han Solo. Probe Droid is not very useful in the game, but kind of suffers a problem like Ki-Adi-Mundi, where it's kind of hard to farm him unless you're going to waste lots of Guild Event Token currency. But on the upside, we have these, you know, the monthly or so bounty hunter missions, which lets you farm Probe Droid a little bit slower, but there's no real need to get Probe Droid. The biggest focal point here is obviously the relics, the Kyrotech, of course, but the Wampa. Wampa requires a lot of Guild Event Token currency. However, the biggest difference, unlike Ki-Adi-Mundi or even Probe Droid, you need to farm Wampa. Like, you can't really progress into the long term of Galaxy Heroes without farming for Wampa. You can play this game in its entirety at the current state without Ki-Adi-Mundi. You'd be fine without him. You don't need him. But Wampa, you need it up and running. It's a good character, of course, especially if you throw that Omicron, but you need it to progress through the Luke stuff inside the game. So for me personally, this is more important in that regard. However, this isn't really very great for mid and end game players because a lot of people already have their Wampa. They already have their, you know, their Captain Han. They already have all those other things kind of up and running here. So yeah, that's the biggest part. It's probably not as appealing, but if you're a new player coming to the game, buying this just for Wampa is great. But again, I wish it was cheaper. I wish it was $10. $25 is a little much. I would have liked to see for $25, them put in like Veers, Stark, maybe Hoth Rebel Scout, Hoth Rebel Soldier. I know it's a little bit far-fetched because it's not Hoth, but it would have been great seeing Hermit Yoda. But at the minimum, all those other characters I listed would have been great to see here for that for $25. A lot of people are kind of getting into Mon Mothma's team now that Luthen's in the game, and people don't want to build up their Hoth Rebel Scout, which is kind of an important component. This would have been a great opportunity to do so. So, man, oh man, $25, a little bit more than Ki-Adi-Mundi, but it's at least has more important things that are required. Ki-Adi-Mundi is not really necessary currently. I mean, again, you know, Naboo raid, yeah, I guess, but I'm thinking beyond that right now. For those that are maybe watching this later down the road, I don't think it's D tier. I feel like this is maybe C tier. If this was $10, I bump it up a little bit. So I guess those are all the Lightspeed bundles that we currently have in the game. I'm going to take one more gander. Definitely, I don't think we've had anything that really equals the value of these two. These are definitely a S tier right here. I think the FINALIZER RADDUS are definitely the next in line, especially with gas. That if gas was a little bit cheaper, like if he was like the cost of Ray, maybe like $15, that would easily be S tier. The BB-8's kind of a weird one. I don't know. It just, this one kind of perplexed me. I'm going to pretend that's not even there. It's just, it overlaps a little too much. This is good. The only thing about Shells of the Empire, a little, you know, nothing like crazy life-changing, but it was so cheap. It helps you build a variety of teams for a variety of Galactic Legends. Starkiller's got great stuff, but a little too expensive. $50 is a little much. Looking at these guys down here, NIGHTSISTERS, I think, you know what? I kind of want to bump NIGHTSISTERS. I'm going to bump up NIGHTSISTERS a little bit. Yeah, just again, not too expensive, builds up the whole faction. They're all very useful now. Yeah, I like where NIGHTSISTERS are, much better than these other guys. C-3PO, I think I'm liking this a little bit more. The GEONOSIANs, oh man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep these guys a little low. Yeah, I think they're a better bet of, if you're trying to pursue PADME, there are better Separatist bundles that exist out there. Jedi Training Raids, kind of, nothing too special. Okay, I think I'm gonna put it here, people. This right here is going to be my ranking for all of the Lightspeed bundles in Star Wars Galaxies. Kind of fun to sit back and look at all of it. Is this valuable? Is this a useful video? Probably not. If they don't bring back the Lightspeed bundles, this does no good. But if they do bring back the Lightspeed bundles, here's where I kind of see them, like when you kind of compare them relatively to one another. But I'll say this, even though there's F tier, there's S tier, all these bundles, just again, a base level of Chirotech, time, relic materials, whatever else, all these bundles, in my opinion, have exceeded the price that they're asking for. Even the $50 ones, the $10 ones, it just matters, what do you think? Is it something worth $10, $50? It really comes to a personal evaluation. I can give you the in-game analysis and kind of the time analysis, but you know, everyone's got a different value for all that stuff there. But that's gonna wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. Gung get the droids. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I don't know if it's any help, but you know what? It is a lot of fun kind of talking about this stuff, and I know you guys love your Lightspeed bundles. So folks, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and always remember, it's great to have another Lightspeed bundle today. Great to be in the